Now I think these came free with a magazine. They are climbing bean. Tricky name to pronounce. Behilder. That's what I call them, behilders. My pronunciation is rubbish. So these are actually a purple coloured French bean. So never had these before. May as well use them up. They come free with the magazine, which is grow your own. Now these are going to go in the little compostable pots. I'll put my onions in. A little bit small really to put 2 in, but I will put 2 in each, and then the strongest one I'll pick out as they start growing. Now, another extra little wigwam of these. Do a few extra just in case. Doesn't really cost anything more to grow a few more, so we've got a few extra pots here, so we may as well just fill them up. You can always share if you grow too much, which most of us do. You can always ask anybody else if they want something, especially if it's something different. Purple sort of French beans, not the most common thing. Don't find them in the stores that much, so it's always nice to grow something different. And we'll grow purple cauliflowers, purple broccoli, purple cabbage, red cabbage, purple cabbage. Could have a whole section in the allotment called the purple patch. Done that before. It's a bit of fun. Okay, that's all done. Okay, we've just potted up a few pots. Now, a bit of fun. We'll just see how tall we can get these. Always love to grow a few sunflowers. If you can remember down my allotment, I used to have a sunflower bench, which has since rotted away, but I've kept the back. I always like to grow a few. Now these are called Russian Giant. These are from Thompson and Morgan. Now they're little striped pull through those. They're little striped. Now these normally do grow pretty well, but we'll stick a couple in each pot, and then your germination's 50% better chance. As I say, you don't need to grow large amounts of these, just to add a little bit of colour to the allotment, a little bit of fun just to see how tall they grow. I reckon they grow 10 feet, which will just be over the fruit cage, which is where I'm normally sort of put my sunflowers up against the fruit cage. It's always good to have them up against somewhere. It's probably one of the sunniest parts of the allotment. Twiddle it out. What am I saying? There we go. Just top those up with a little bit more water. Notice I've abandoned the old milk bottle. I think I wasn't putting enough water. Probably a problem with the peas, being a bit of a failure. So always going to drown these. On a hot day like today, it is 41.5 degrees in this greenhouse. I do not need a jumper, but it's a little bit fresh outside. Okay, just pat those down a bit. They will grow pretty quickly, I reckon, so that'll be interesting. We'll come back in 7 days and see how everything's doing. Mondays are my day off, but every day is a day off at the moment. Try and have some sort of routine at the moment. and Monday's normally the day I go to the allotment, although I do go down most evenings once everything starts growing, but Monday is Monday mornings. What we do, potting in our shed or greenhouse. That's where that saying comes from, I believe. Okay, that's enough for today. Cheers. Okay, we've just come back into the greenhouse. Just realised that my tomato plants, roots have grown out the bottom of the pot, so they needed to be potted on into larger pots. So we'll just sort of crack on and do that too. Okay, we've got decent sized pots. They're not going to be the last pots. I do like to put them into grow bags with a container, which I'll just sort of show you how they sort of finish. This is the container that they eventually go in. Now that goes into the actual grow bag. You put the compost in there. Now use these pots because they're really good size, because they just will fit in there like that. So that will be the perfect sort of size. So I will get the roots going really well in there. Now you can see I've got 4 tomato plants at the moment. Now if you look really carefully, they're starting to shoot out at the side. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Take that little lollipop stick out. Now these are green grown on. They've just got to delicately prick out the corners, or else they will grow loads of shoots. Now you've got to be quite gentle. I should take my gloves off really. You see that we're getting a few roots coming out at the bottom. So just sort of, I haven't watered these for a little while, which is why they come out really easily. Now that's a good root system there. So half fill the pot with compost, pop that in there like that. I'll already stick back in there. That's not really quite so well, so give it a little bit more chance in that pot. You can see the side shoot on the, see the little side shoots in there just sort of growing. Well, that's what you don't really need. That's what you've got to pick out. So you need to carry on doing that with tomato plants all the way through their growth, or else you'll end up with not many tomatoes but an awful lot of greenery. Little pinch, turn it upside down. You got that in there, so we'll have a little bit of water. Surprising how much your water bill will go up in the summer if you're always using your tap water. Let's face it, when it does rain, we do get quite a bit of it. So, right, just leave that to soak in. Watering tomatoes, a bit of a delicate issue. You can overwater them. You've got to be a little bit careful. You don't want to let them dry out totally. One of the reasons why I use the actual systems that I do in the grow bags is that you don't water the actual stems, because that can sort of rot the tomato out. It's a bit worrying when you're watering them and you look at the top and it's all dry, but it is the way to do it. So when I just watered these, I just watered around the outside of the root cluster rather than trying to water the actual plant itself. I won't need to disturb those plants again because they'll just slide straight into my containers for my grow bags. So that's the tomato plants done. Take up a little bit more room.